Welcome back to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy. And today we're going to tell you about Joeseph and Emily Ferlazzo.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Check out the description for the links of all of our podcast platforms, CashApp, and Buy Me a Coffee. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
Today we have a good story, great story.
Sad story.
Sad story.
It's always a sad story.
They're always sad story,
Yeah,
but
always.
anyway, I don't know what it is anyway. So,
and we're only, we will preface this with, we will only be dropping one episode this week.
Yep.
Burke is physically down.
Yep.
So
Man down.
we can only get him in here for one episode. So
Yeah, between my hip and my back, my hip and my back.
he's old.
Yeah, old as fuck.
So just a warning, this will be the only case that we do this week.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week though.
Yeah, we'll have two
Hopefully.
next week, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, I'm gonna stretch out and get this stuff done.
All right.
Try to anyway,
Okay.
or I might hurt myself even more.
Probably. Yeah,
Who
that's
knows?
probably what's going to happen. Yeah.
Who knows?
Now, some may remember this case because it happened at the same time that the Gabby Petito case was happening, but this one seemed to get a little less coverage. Of course, Gabby was everywhere. And there's a lot of similarities between the two cases. Both were doing the van life thing. Both were couples. Both men returned home without their significant others. Both men sent texts like their person was still alive, so sending stuff either from their phone or to their phone, acting like they were still there. Both women were killed. So there's a lot of things that went hand in hand. And the timing is it all happened at the same time. And as I already mentioned, we are covering the death of 22-year-old Emily Ferlazzo. So let's start at the beginning. And this is a trigger warning episode for domestic violence. So as always, safety first.
Yep. Trigger warning.
Warning.
All of our episodes have trigger warnings.
Right, but some more than others.
Yeah.
Now, when she was Emily Schwartz, her stepmother said that she was that girl that ran around in polka dot pants and a striped shirt dancing. She was always very happy. She absolutely loved to sing. She was a very good singer. And she was a nursing assistant, but was really interested in cosmetology. So she was really open to her options.
So what state are we in?
Oh, sorry. We are in Northfield, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up in the pretty states, like where all the leaves turn and oh, so pretty. Now, her friend Lauren got a hold of her one day in 2018 because Lauren was apprenticing to be a body piercer and she basically needed a guinea pig. Her mentor thought that she would do better if she pierced a friend before she was fully released to the general public. Because, you get a little nervous. I guess she was a little shaky. And you really don't want your piercer to be shaky. So this was part of her training. And they thought, a friend, just like a tattoo, do it on a friend first. That way, it's a little easier if something happens and messes up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They know what they're getting into, whereas it's not somebody who's expecting perfection. So to steady her nerves, she calls Emily. And so Emily came in and got her ear pierced by Lauren and her nose pierced by the guy that had been training Lauren. Now, this was Joeseph Ferlazzo, tattoo artist and body piercer. After Emily left, he told Lauren that he wouldn't mind making Emily his next ex-wife.
Sound like he thinks of the ladies, like he's a ladies' man or something.
He's a ladies' man. Now, somehow beyond my belief, he actually seems to not have any problems getting women. I don't understand it, and you'll learn as we go. But, there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
But at that time, both he and Emily were in a relationship with other people. And I want to specify that all this information has come from Joeseph, obviously. We're not able to get a bunch of information outside of his version. So relationship stuff is all coming from him. Now, Emily and Joeseph wouldn't see each other again for a couple of years. Like, that was just a chance encounter. He moved around quite a bit, and that was something he had done for his whole life, actually. But when the pandemic hit, times got hard for both of them. Emily, because she was in the medical field, of course, and Joeseph, because it's really hard to tattoo somebody from 6 feet away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get the picture. Joeseph was living in Vermont around April, May, June-ish of 2020. That's how he describes it. He doesn't know exactly when this happened. It was sometime in that 3-month time frame. He was couch surfing with friends and trying to do whatever he could to make money. He got a hold of Lauren to see if she was up for getting a tattoo. That's what you do. You go back through your Rolodex. They don't do that anymore, but you go back through your client list and you start reaching out to people because, you need that work. This was perfect because Lauren, her sister, and one of her friends were all wanting tattoos.
Yeah.
Now that friend was Emily. So they all get their tattoos and a couple of weeks goes by and Emily wanted more. He couldn't remember who contacted who at the time, but he believes that she contacted him because she wanted that tattoo. She had just broken up with her boyfriend, and he says that she was very flirty with him.
Yeah, I wonder if she was, really, or if he just took it that way.
Right.
I mean,
because he thinks he's got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he thinks he's built like a brick shit house or something.
You could be like, excuse me, sir, can I get past you? And they're like, hey, stop hitting on me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Back up.
He's that guy. Yes.
Whoa, lady.
I'm taken.
Yeah. Not this hot stuff. Just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now he is.
Sorry.
Okay.
Gotta
beat him up.
Yeah. Water in the face.
Now he has come off as arrogant, of course, and a bunch of other adjectives that we won't get into. But he does go ahead and give her another tattoo. He takes her for a ride on his motorcycle because he has a Ducati Monster, and they really hit it off. They would go on to spend almost every day with each other after that, even though they lived a couple of hours away from each other, with her in New Hampshire and him in Vermont. And some of their friends had concerns with the age gap because she was 21 at the time and he was 40. But which it's not really a problem in most cases. We know friends that have age gaps, but they're perfect for each other. Like, it's just all about the personality, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difference if the guy was 30 and 10. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would be the freaking difference.
That would be illegal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference. All right. They're both of age. I'm not saying it's whatever, but
they are both of age. Yeah.
But it's their choice.
It's their choice.
Yeah.
And as long as
grown ass adults.
And as long as the relationship is equal, you know what I mean? Like, they have a good balance.
Exactly.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But he described the beginning of their relationship as euphoric. So they were in like their own little world.
Gotcha.
Around August, they had enough money saved up to get an apartment in Essex, Vermont. And so she moved there to be with him. It was about a month later in September that Joseph came into the kitchen and Emily handed him a ring and a card saying, "Will you marry me? Check yes or no." Now, he thought that was cute, and he said yes. And he had a friend marry them on October 10th of 2020.
Yeah. If my math is mathing.
Yeah, do that math.
They had been together for 6 months at the longest.
Right. So if they had gotten together in April, this would be 6 months later they got married.
Hey, we know people, they got married 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, It's just, if you know, you know.
If you
and
know,
they've been together, and people's been together for a long damn time.
That's very true.
So
love at first sight, it's a thing. Now, her parents had only met him one time before they got married. Her mom said the main thing was that she was happy. That was all she was really concerned about, of course. But Emily's stepmom said something never sat right about him, saying something didn't click the first time we met him. I don't know what it was about him, but we didn't like him. I said, it's something with his eyes. He looks evil in his eyes. So she was honed in. They lived there in that apartment until around the spring of 2021. Joeseph was traveling and doing tattoos in both Vermont and New Hampshire. He had a portfolio at the Body Art Studio in Burlington, Vermont. And they were seeing all of this like van life stuff on social media that boomed during the pandemic, and they wanted to do that. So Joeseph got a Chevy minibus. I think it was a Chevy Express minibus, and they started working to convert it. A neighbor at the apartment said that they usually seemed friendly with each other, talking about Emily and Joeseph. But there was a time or two that they noticed very small bruising on Emily. Now, Joeseph was just described by them as being extremely quiet and always kept to himself.
I mean, we could do the van life thing.
I think we could totally do the van life thing.
you know, we've actually talked about it, you know.
Many times.
Yeah. We said when the kids moved out, we was going to grab a trailer and go and not give them our address.
Yeah, but we're late on that. We were tardy to that party because
they done found us.
They found us out.
Yeah.
Now, they named this minivan Roaming Rosie. So if you hear me say Rosie, it's just a short way of saying the minibus. And it even had its own its own social media.
Rosie.
Bus. That's right. And it looked pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Most of them do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the whole thing. That's why, hell, I tried to talk her into getting one of them so I could build it.
Yeah.
And
that's what they did.
Because, I'm pretty handy.
Very.
And I could probably make a pretty badass bus.
I agree. So this bus, like you come in, you're obviously at the seats. You hang a left. They put like a little shower there, like a little bathroom that had a shower. And so it had like a curtain as a door. To the right, they had like a little kitchen area. And then the back was the bathroom or the bedroom. So they had their whole bed in that back. Then they had it like on top of storage. So the bed set up a little higher so that they had a bunch of storage underneath it.
Yeah, that's like a standard setup.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. So keep that in mind as we go. But there were a couple neighbors that spoke out about the couple. They say that the couple was living in the apartment in June of 2021.
Yeah.
The couple moving in while Joeseph and Emily were moving out says that they were putting stuff into the minibus very abruptly. So some news reports have said that they were literally moving out while the new people were trying to move in. So yeah, I bet they were in a bit of a hurry. They ended up parking the minibus at her mom's property in New Hampshire and staying there along with their dog, Remington. Now they also call her Remy. So you've got Rosie, the minibus, and you're going to have Remy, the dog. This brings us to October of 2021. So this is their 1-year anniversary. And they decided to take Roaming Rosie to Vermont for the weekend to celebrate. Now on Friday, October 15th, they head to Vermont, all 3 of them, Remy too. Now his sister Nikki, who he hadn't seen in a few years, was also renting an Airbnb at a condo in Vermont. So Joeseph and Emily were going to park the minibus in that parking lot. And this would be the first time that Emily would meet Nikki and the first time that Joeseph would be meeting Nikki's boyfriend.
Well, I hope everybody gets along.
No lie.
Or it's going to be a shitty weekend.
No lie. Like you choose your anniversary to have like a little family reunion.
Yeah.
Only 2 people know each other out of this group. And I hope everybody gets along.
By and by, this is my wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. So I'll give you a quick rundown on what we know, and then we'll go into details of Joseph's version of events. That evening, they got to the Airbnb at about 7:20, so it's already dark out. And Nikki and the boyfriend came to the minibus. Everyone meets. They talk for about 30 minutes. And Nikki invites them inside the condo to watch Netflix, or they have some board games in there they could play. They just wanted to hang out, get to know each other. The 2 siblings wanted to visit with each other. Nikki and the boyfriend head into the condo. And then Joeseph ended up texting Nikki at about 9:39 to tell them that they were not coming in, that they were going to stay in the bus and they were going to unwind from their trip. He texted Nikki on Saturday morning at 7:48 saying, "I can't sleep. Any interest in going to get breakfast?" And then at 8:02, "Maxie's has really good breakfast. I just French pressed some coffee. Have you had coffee yet?" So he goes to the condo. He takes a shower in the Airbnb. They end up going out for breakfast to Maxie's. Joeseph rode with Nikki, but Emily was not with him. Now, when Nikki asked where she was, Joeseph said she was still sleeping. So they go on and have breakfast and mimosas because vacay. Like he says a lot, well, we were on vacation. Or he says, I was on vacation is what he says all the time. I was on vacation.
I got you. So starting the day out, with a buzz.
Yeah, vacay.
I know when we're on vacation, we went to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And we went down to go for Haley and then go get that tattoo.
Yes.
And they forgot their ID. Y'all went off. And then y'all came back trying to find me. And
he was gone.
I found a bar.
Yeah, he was gone. He's like, you go up this road, you turn down this road, and there he is sitting at a bar.
I'm sitting at a bar.
Like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I was surprised it was open. I was like, you guys serving drinks? They said, yep. I'm like, I'll take one.
But he loves a good Bloody Mary, so breakfast food. We all had drinks for breakfast that day. Now he would come back to the minibus, get everything moved and put away so that they could move it to his friend's house. So he was going to the Langs. That's how we'll refer to him. And he gave his sister a tattoo there, and they all went to dinner at a gastropub. He stayed in the minibus that night at the Langs. The next day, he had brunch with Nikki, and then the Langs had a bonfire that night, so he was there for that. On Monday, he got his Ducati that he had been storing in Vermont and drove back to Emily's mom and stepdad's house in New Hampshire. Now, this is a 3-hour drive in October in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold. So when he got there, he was shaking. They ask him where Emily is, and he tells them that they got into an argument on Saturday in a parking lot. She was hitting him, and he had to restrain her. She kicked him in the groin, and she said that she was calling an Uber to come and take her home. So he went down to the gas station. He says it was to get her something to drink. Okay, she kicked you in the groin. Oh, maybe she's thirsty. That was his thought.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So he comes back, but she's not there. He searches up and down the highway to see if she's walking, but he doesn't see her. So he assumed that she got a ride. Now, she said he put his hands in his pockets and seemed surprised that he had her driver's license. This is Emily's mom. So he's standing there talking to him. He reaches in. He's like, oh, wait, here's her driver's license. And they're like, why do you have her driver's license? And he said that they had bought liquor at some point and she had given him her license in case the company needed it, the place that they were buying it at. So he gave it to her and then he ate dinner with them. So her stepdad had made pasta. And so he sat down and he ate. And then Emily's stepdad called the cops to report Emily missing. They hadn't heard from her themselves since Friday at 7:45. Now, the police called Joseph's phone to speak to him, and stepdad answers the phone, Joseph's phone. And so they're like, yep, just trying to talk to Joseph. And so he hands the phone to Joeseph, and he tells them the same story that he told her parents. They got into an argument. She took off. He has no clue. He also tells them that the minibus was acting up, and that's why he had come back on the Ducati. And so he had it in a shop at St. Albans, like in the town. The in-laws convinced him to turn on his locations on his phone so that they knew he was safe. Then he went to his friend Spencer's house. He told Spencer that he needed to go get the minibus and asked Spencer if he'd give him a ride. Now, Spencer says he got to his house at like 11:20 p.m. And he and Spencer load up in the Honda Civic and they head to the Langs in Vermont.
You know, that's a friend.
That is a friend.
You know, to drive to a friend a couple hours out of state line, you know, or out of state late at night.
Yeah.
And then, you know, him just, all right.
He's like, I'll be at your house at 11:30.
Yeah.
You give me a ride to Vermont?
Let's roll.
He's like, okay. Wow.
And you know, and the thing on the driver's license where they're like, oh, that's weird that you have her drive.
It's not.
Give me your driver's license.
All the time.
Damn near every time we go out.
Yeah, I don't want to carry it.
Yeah. You're like, here, hold my driver. I mean, you do that crap all the time. So
All the
that's
time.
not uncommon.
It is not.
So
It is not.
Yeah.
They just thought it was odd. You know, he hadn't seen her, and then now all of a sudden he has her license, so she's out in the world somewhere without ID.
I mean, I don't find it that odd.
Right. Us, no, because we do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't find that odd because that's just what married couples kind of do.
It is what we kind of do.
I mean, shit, you carry my wallet every once in a while.
I do.
That's not weird.
No. No.
So, anyway.
But anyway, so I wondered why he would call Spencer so damn late. You know what I mean? Like, why are you calling so late? But if you think about it, now since the cops were going to be looking for Emily, he needed to get that minibus and get it quick. And you'll see why. But shady shit usually goes down at night. So the later it gets, the more I'm like, that couldn't have been done in the day. Okay. He said that Joeseph was quiet on the trip to get the bus, saying he just needed to get Rosie. And as they get closer to the Lang's house, Spencer sees 4 cop cars around Rosie. He asked Joeseph what was going on, and I guess Joeseph hadn't really planned for the cops to actually look to see if the minibus was in an auto shop getting fixed, but they did.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And when they found it, they were like, oh, let's just park some cops out here to kind of take a look at things and see who shows up. So that explains why he was so hell-bent to get there that night, I'm just saying. And this is when Joeseph tells Spencer that Emily is in there. Spencer asks if she's alive, and Joeseph says no. Yeah. He tells him that he killed her. He tells Spencer to keep driving past the cops, and he does. He tells Spencer to shoot him, but he won't. And Joeseph starts getting fidgety. He said he was moving around, looking in the door pockets, doing all the things, and Spencer feared for his life at this point, because here's a guy who just confessed to murdering his wife, and now he's looking for something in your car, like a weapon. So he stopped the car, and he's like, get the fuck out. And so he kicked Spencer out of the car, or he kicked Joeseph out of the car.
Yeah.
And then he called 911 at 12:03 a.m. to tell them exactly what Joeseph had just told him. The next day, a couple of cops are in a convenience store, and one of them sees Joeseph. Now, he looked familiar, so she pulled up the bulletin from that morning on her phone and saw that he was wanted for questioning in Emily's disappearance. So she brings him into the station, and she said when she was like, "Are you Joeseph?" She said he just deflated, like shoulders down, face dropped. "Yeah, I'm Joeseph." And so they go to the station. They take the minibus and his red Jeep Wrangler to the station as well. Now, in his recorded interview with the cops, they talk a little bit. You know, they're making small talk, carrying on. And then the actual investigators come into the room, sit down, read him his rights, make him sign the waivers. And then it's about a minute and a half after being read his rights and signing those waivers that he says the words, "I shot her."
Dang.
Yeah, it was quick. So the prosecutor in trial would say it was 42 seconds. So I don't know where she was starting from, but it was literally when I was watching it, I timed it, and it was like a minute and a half. He goes on to tell the police the story, that the relationship started great, but then it went to shit. He tells them that she was physically violent, even though she was only 5'1" and about 130 pounds, and he was 6 foot tall and 200 pounds. She would fly into fits and rages. She would hit him with her fists and objects, like she would pick things up. He says that the trip to Vermont that weekend was great, but as soon as he put it in park, sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. at the condo, she was instantly pissed. They start arguing. They meet with Nikki and her boyfriend.
Hang on, before you go. So, when we did the, what was it, Sarah Boone case?
Yes.
We got so many freaking comments where it was like, there never was proof that there was domestic violence
Right.
or any of this other stuff. And
we are not saying
and it's
that.
just like this one right here. You know, we're reading
his version.
Mm-hmm. So don't come at us and be like, well, you know, there's no proof. There's never proven. We're just reading what was said.
We're literally telling you what he tells the cops.
We're telling you the story.
Yep.
So anyway.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because we did.
Step down off your stool a little bit.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So after Nikki and her boyfriend leave the minibus, Joeseph and Emily just continue with their arguing. Like, they picked up where they left off. And she got violent. But eventually she did stop fighting, and she went to lay down. About 5 to 10 minutes later, he jumped on top of her and shot her in the head 2 times at around 1 to 2 a.m. Then he cleaned up, had an anxiety attack, and he doesn't know much of anything after that, saying, I eventually, I don't even know if I slept. He told them about going to breakfast at Maxie's later that morning, that he lied to his sister, saying that Emily was sleeping. He told them about going to the Langs, doing the tattoo on his sister, going to dinner at the gastropub. He says he slept in the minibus that night. He says he went to the bus around 8:30 to 9:30 that night and slept on the minibus on Sunday after the bonfire. So here he is, literally just doing his everyday life. Like, he didn't just kill his wife there. He tells them that he lied to his in-laws on Monday about where Emily was, of course. He also had gone back to their house. The reason he went back was to pick up his Jeep, because he was going to use that Jeep to move Emily's remains out into the woods. Yeah. He didn't know where yet, just in the woods. But that went out the window when her stepdad called the cops. So that's when he texted Spencer that he needed a ride to get the minibus, because he needed to get there before the cops did. He did tell them that when he was on his way to the in-laws' house, he threw some of her stuff away at a gas station. but that he feels like he stopped and put a little bit of fuel in at every gas station he passed. So it could have been any of those because he threw it away in the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, what did he throw away?
he threw away her.
I mean, obviously it wasn't her license.
Right. He kept that. I think he might have meant to, but forgot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he was surprised. But he threw away her glasses, her shoes, her wallet, and her phone. Yeah. Now, in the interview, he starts...
Why her shoes?
I have no clue. He doesn't make sense. None of him.
I mean, the phone, all right, because that can track.
Right. Wallet. Yep. I get that.
With shoes?
Her shoes.
And, I mean, glasses?
Yeah.
Come on. All right, whatever. Go ahead. Keep going.
So he starts to hyperventilate, right? So after he's told his story, he's literally huffing and puffing.
Give him a paper bag.
They bring him a bag, but it's got a burger and some chips in it.
Hey, you know what? That'll help him get on through it. Dump him out.
He literally turns the bag upside down and shakes the food out of it. That annoyed me as to that's how he got his burger out. And this is when we learn that he doesn't eat carbs as he takes the bun off the burger and throws the chips across the table. He's not eating those.
Okay.
He went from heavy breathing and crying to unwrapping that burger and asking the cop why he likes his job in less than 1 minute.
So just
he just shut it down.
Yeah, just like scene.
Yep, pretty much. He's like, let me go ahead and make this lettuce wrap burger I'm going to eat. He says he slept outside Monday night after Spencer kicked him out of the car. And they asked him what he was wearing when he shot Emily. And he says t-shirt and underwear because he doesn't wear pants unless he has to. He talks about a time that she left for work, right? So he's telling them about their relationship. And he's like, one time she left for work and she hadn't braided her hair like she usually did when she goes to work at the hospital. So he watched her when she drove off and she went the opposite direction of where the hospital was. He said he later brought that up to her and she just started screaming, kicking, and flailing on him. When they asked him why he didn't just... So that's him pointing out the violence that he had to put up with. Not the fact that he was stalking her. Not the fact that he was literally like, you didn't braid your hair today?
Yeah.
You're obviously doing dirty, shady stuff.
Obviously. I mean, you didn't braid your hair. You went the wrong direction today.
Yeah. So
goodness.
He's not seeing...
If you would have braided your hair, you would have went the right way.
Exactly.
I mean...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they ask him, okay, you got into an altercation in the bus. Why didn't you just leave? Like, you could have just walked off that bus. He said himself that she had stopped fighting and laid down in bed, was scrolling on her phone. And he said that because he knew it wouldn't stop unless he stopped it.
So is this guy going to, claim self-defense?
You must be psychic.
I mean, I don't see how.
Doesn't mean he won't try.
Yeah, because,
He's just confessed.
Yeah, he confessed. I shot her.
He's just told them she was literally laying in bed scrolling on her phone and I jumped on top of her and shot her twice.
Wow.
Like.
I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I must have zoned out for a second. So.
Yeah, he told him I shot her and they're like, what'd you do? And he told them she was on her phone.
I mean, that's, it wasn't like he was defending himself. She wasn't flipping the F, out or anything like that.
She was laying down for 5 to 10 minutes.
Sitting there scrolling through her phone.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I scroll through my phone. Do you feel like shooting me?
No.
All right, then.
No.
I'm watching like videos.
Always.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm always doing it. It's just, it's part of what we do.
Right. So there's a lot of things in claiming. So he did confess to the cops, like we said, but by the time he gets to trial, it does turn into a self-defense case.
Whatever.
And there's a couple of issues that he's going to have to explain, right? One is the fact that the autopsy showed that she had been stabbed 18 times post-mortem.
Okay, so there you go. Now you got shot twice?
Yep, he shot her twice in the head.
And then stabbed her 18 times?
He stabbed her 8 times in the abdomen, 1 time in the heart, and 9 times in the back.
Oh, so he rolled her over.
So he rolled her over.
Oh, yeah.
And this was after she was dead.
Yeah, buddy. This is self-defense.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Oh, it gets better. Or worse. I always say it gets better, but it gets worse. Now, these were definitely, the Emmy got on the stand and said these were stabbing wounds. These were not slices. These were not anything else. They were definitely stabs. But like you said, think about that. He'd have to stab her, roll her over, and stab her again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the fuck? There were also 3 knives in the knife block and
here we go.
the scissors that they were able to positively show had her blood on them.
So he stabbed her with scissors?
I don't know what he used the scissors for, but he
was grabbing everything.
He would have had to. Yeah, right? Right? Huh. Another issue is where they found Emily's body. And I bet you're wondering. Well, they were found in 8 black trash bags in the shower of that minibus.
Oh, no. He cut her up?
He dismembered her.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Buddy, you can't claim self-defense on that.
Yep. He said it would be easier for him to transport her to the woods if he could do it in multiple bags.
It'd been easier just to walk away.
Now, here's something else. There's more to this. I'm not even kidding. It just keeps going.
Oh, man, we're going to get so many comments on this.
Bags 1 and 2 had a red throw pillow with 2 bullet holes in it.
Okay.
And bedding. Bags 3 through 8 had Emily's remains. So I want you to keep that in mind, that there was a throw pillow with 2 bullet holes in it, and she was shot in the head 2 times. We'll get to that.
Gotcha.
He was arrested, of course, and the trial finally started on December 6th of 2024. The prosecutor says that this statement that he gave to the police when he got caught was highly accurate, to a point. That they were able to see his movements through his cell phone data. And there was a beautiful presentation with maps and locations and phone pings. And it was just easy to follow. I liked this Celebrate presentation that they did. And they showed everybody exactly where he went and that it lined up exactly with what he told the cops the night he got arrested.
Gotcha.
She says that he was the violent one in this relationship. Her mom testified to a few instances that Emily showed up with bruises or cuts on her, and she always had an explanation for it, as they do. That he had all the choices in the world that night, and he chose the wrong one, basically. They argued he had that 5 to 10 minutes to make the choice, and even in the closing arguments, the prosecutor even started a clock and stood in silence for 5 minutes. To show the jury, this is just part of the time that he sat there and stewed to decide, do I shoot her? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Made a big impact. And he chose to shoot her. He got his Glock that had a silencer on it.
A Glock that has a silencer.
Okay. Why are you carrying around a Glock with a silencer on it, bro? Anyways, he jumped on top of her while she was laying in bed. He put the throw pillow over her head and shot it twice.
Yep.
So, definitely not self-defense.
Nope.
That's another thing that leads to an attack. Like, he literally attacked her.
He attacked her. Yeah.
100%. Then he put a bag over her head to try to catch the blood. Yes. And then he tied another bag over her head.
So even if she did have a chance, which she probably didn't.
She did not, no.
Then she would have suffocated.
Right. But he did it because he was planning on sleeping on that mattress for the rest of the weekend. So he literally needed to catch that blood before it soaked into his bed.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he flipped the mattress over. Bro. Because when they went, anyways, he went on about his time that weekend, you know what I mean? Going out to eat, giving tattoos, hanging out with friends, all while she was in that minibus. So now the Langs, his friends, have to know that he either one, dismembered her in their yard. And if not, if he did it before he got there, he had a dismembered body in their yard. You know what I mean? Like, he's out there hanging out, drinking beer, smoking weed, doing the most, while his wife is in pieces in the shower. Like, this impacts so many people. I don't think they realize this.
Yeah.
Now, he claimed that, remember the police, when he was doing his interview, he claimed that she had been punching him. She kicked him in the groin. but he had no marks on him. So they make him strip down to his underwear. They take pictures of his whole body, and he doesn't have a single mark on him. Like not even a faded bruise, nothing. Joeseph said that they both had been drinking, right? They're both drunk. They're both high.
Okay.
But the toxicology report showed that she did have stuff in her system like marijuana and caffeine, but she did not have any alcohol in her system. So he was drinking and he was drunk.
He was tripping.
Wait till you hear
All right.
what he was doing.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, so stick around. We'll get right back to it. Just word from our sponsors, so just bear with us.
Listen up, folks.
Did you hear what happened last night at the laundromat?
No, what?
Some clothespins held up a couple of shirts.
Oh, God. That's a good one. Now, when it's cold outside, do you like to pull out a pair of warm sweatpants straight from the dryer and put them on?
Yeah, it's nice and cozy.
Wouldn't you rather do that at home and not in a laundromat?
Oh, God.
If you live in an apartment and need a washer and dryer that only you can use, get a pin.
You can go to My Laundry Solutions, the #1 choice for washers and dryer rental.
They're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springfield, Joplin, and Kansas City, Missouri, Sherman, Dallas, Houston, and Lubbock, Texas. Their newest location is in Fort Worth. They have more locations opening in Texas in 2025 and 2026. No credit check, free service, professional installation, and your account's available online, all for about $1 a day. Go to your leasing office, go to mylaundrysolutions.com, or call 800-535-4411.
Stop being taken to the cleaner and give them a call today. My Laundry Solutions.
And our dad jokes.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them a check out. Check them out and everything. They're great people.
Great people.
Easy to work with. And, you rent from them, they service all their washers. Yeah. So it's a win-win.
Win-win.
Yep. And if you're a college student in, was it Lubbock? I think it was Lubbock.
Why you gonna put me on the spot like that?
Anyway, there's if you're a college student anywhere in Texas or whatever, I mean, you guys, this is
Lubbock.
Yeah. It's like a great opportunity that way you don't have to worry about buying a washer and dryer and stuff like that. You can do this rent. And that way you don't have to worry about if it breaks down or anything like that. You just give them a call. They'll come out and they'll fix it and everything. So
you got enough on your plate.
Yep. So give them a shot. Just go check it out. I'm telling you, it's worth the time. It's worth the money.
It is. All right.
So he had 3 years to make?
Yes.
He had like 3 years to make his story match up with the reports.
Right.
And, what did he say on the stand?
Right. Oh, I was so mad watching him on the stand.
Yeah.
His testimony gave some pretty good
I'm
insight.
pissed just listening to the story because it's like claiming self-defense on this. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Especially after listening to he jumps on her, puts a pillow over her face and then shoots her twice. And then, you know what I mean? It's just, there's a point of self-defense. Yep. If she was coming at him.
Right.
And beating him or she had the gun and he had to take it away or, I mean, there's like thin lines on this stuff.
Well,
and especially with a male, female, but
it's funny that you bring up those scenarios though, because his testimony on the stand is quite different from his testimony he gave to the police.
All right, let's hear it. I'm sure it'll make me happy.
And like I said, no, it won't. And like I said, just listening to him talk and interact with people gave pretty good insight as to what it's like to have an argument with this man. And holy shit. I don't know if he was trying for the Gaslighter of the Year award.
I'm sure he was.
But it's only March, so he needs to pace himself because he has plenty of time. He tells the story that I've told you about how he and Emily met. He throws in that he was polyamorous, but Emily was monogamous. So when they got together, he says they had an agreement that they would be monogamous until that ran its course. And then they were allowed to open the marriage. They stayed monogamous for the whole summer, y'all. The whole summer. And he admits that even Emily didn't like it when he went polyamorous right before they got married. I'm just saying. And this is when he says that she started getting physically violent. So this is the trigger.
So he was just cheating on her.
He was cheating on her. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it was like.
That would piss a girl off. That'd make a girl get violent.
If she got violent.
I mean, but that would do it.
That will definitely start some arguments, 100%.
If I cheated on you, you're probably gonna whoop my ass.
We're gonna be our own
Actually,
episode.
I probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be you that I'd have to worry about you, but it would be the family members.
Those who come after
that I would
me.
have to worry about because, whoa.
It takes a village, y'all. It's good to have backup. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, 26 years, so we're doing pretty damn good.
Doing great. Yeah. Nothing to worry.
No?
No, he tells...
No high fives? Don't leave me hanging?
Didn't even see you. My bad.
Well, the people on the fucking video, they're going to see it, and they're going to be like laughing their ass off at that. Like, wow. Amy.
Just
way to go. Leaving your husband hanging like that. Way to go.
It happens more often than you'd think.
And what's even bad is like I'm here and my hand's up here, so
I can't see. I have no peripheral.
It's like a staggered.
Oh.
It's like a staggered high five.
Oh, we changed our.
Yeah.
We're trying to find what works best.
Anyway, get back to the story.
Okay. He tells the stories now that seem like he's taking actual events and turning them in his favor. You know how narcissists like to do that.
Sure.
At least that's the way I see things. Like the one where he had been doing tattoos out of a room in the apartment in Essex that they lived in. And he says she put a Ring camera up in that room to keep an eye on his equipment and stuff and keep everything safe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But he did a tattoo session on a woman once. And as soon as the woman left, Emily came in the room and flipped his table, threw all of his stuff on the floor. She went wild. And then says it's because he turned that camera off because he was tired of being watched. But he has a history of sleeping with his clients. And he seems the type that might, barter for services, if you know what I mean. So that is full speculation on my part. But he made it seem like she was just jealous. But in reality, he has a history of doing this. Like, he didn't want her to see him cheating, I think is what was happening. And so he turned the camera off, and she knew that's why he turned the camera off. So if that actually happened, that's my version of events, is that
sounds good.
He was cheating. Anyways, he talks about her beating him with a wine bottle, hitting him in the head with her laptop, things like that, and then just acting like everything's okay. For example, with the wine bottle incident, it was New Year's Eve. He says he was messaging someone on his phone. Now, he doesn't go into detail about who or what he's messaging about. Remember, he thinks he's in an open marriage, so I imagine it was probably pretty explicit. That's the word I'll use. He said Emily saw it and then hit him all over with the wine bottle. It started with the head and then was just hitting wherever she could get him until he pushed her away. He says she locked herself in the bedroom and he tried to get her to talk to him, to tell him what was wrong. Like, what's happening, honey? Why did you just do that? Calm. Collected. She just opened the door and said she wanted a Coke and asked him to take her to get one. Like nothing ever happened.
I mean, that could happen.
That could happen.
I mean, sometimes people rage and then snap out of it.
That's very true.
I mean,
except that when she was in the bedroom, she had called her mom and told her that he had shoved her and she was scared. And then she made a video recording on her phone of him at the door, angry, yelling on the other side. So it sounded like he was raging. And she was trying to get away from him.
So what, she lock him out?
Yeah.
And wouldn't let him in. So then he was pissed because she wouldn't let him in.
Well, yeah, I think he was trying to get to her and she locked the door. Yeah.
Rolling with it here.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't go into detail about the video. They just say that Emily's mom says that there was a video and you could hear him very angry.
So he's trying to play it like this has been going on for a while.
Right. And that he, his version of events, he was, just minding his business and she attacked him. But it sounds like he was very angry and attacked her about something. Yeah. Now, even though he does go on to say that even though she's built small, he does not describe her as gentle. And some women are like that. Some men, women, dynamite comes in small packages. That's what my mom used to always tell me. So just somebody's size does not necessarily dictate their ability to do damage is all I'm saying. So size does not always matter.
No, smaller people are firecrackers.
They are firecrackers. Yeah. Now he testified that when they parked at the Airbnb, when they went on their 1-year anniversary trip, that the transmission was smoking and it was getting into the bus. She was upset about that. And that's why she was mad as soon as they parked. And that's what they argued about. They opened all the doors and windows to air it out. He suggested maybe they take a hike and take pictures for the Roaming Rosie social media page. And Emily said no. But the prosecutor points out a little fact that his ex-wife actually lives in those condos where they parked. So maybe that's why she was upset. Because they were vacationing for their 1-year anniversary basically in his ex's backyard.
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Yeah, why would you take your wife there? That makes no sense to me.
I mean, did they have a pool?
I don't know. That doesn't matter either.
It's like, I got the hookup.
Okay.
We got a pool there and we got access.
Whatever.
I know somebody.
Yeah. Okay. I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a person.
So
who is it? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. That's my guy.
I can't say.
So she's allegedly angry. She's throwing stuff around. He told her, make yourself a drink, smoke some weed, because remember, vacay. They're on vacay. He was drinking vodka Red Bulls. And now that the toxicology shows she had no alcohol, he guesses she was just drinking Red Bull. Now that would be to explain the caffeine in her system, I guess. He said that she showed him a notes app on her phone with a multiple page document entitled Dilemma, but that she deleted it before he could read it.
Or he went through her phone and he found it.
Exactly. And that's a wide belief, is that why would she be like, look at my dilemma note and then just delete it and not tell him what it said, not let him read any of, what would be the point of that?
Yeah.
He says that after being introduced to Nikki, Emily just sat on the bed and didn't participate in the conversation any longer. After Nikki left, Joeseph made him another drink, smoked some more weed, and Emily said she wasn't going into that condo. She had met some friends who were in the area and she wanted to hang out with them instead, but then threatened him that if he went and hung out with Nikki, he'd get it. Okay. She was cussing, saying the trip was shitty. The van was shitty. He made him another drink and put some music on and started dancing with Remy. So if she was upset, he's just like, and just doing his own thing. He kept bringing up that note, the notes, asking her about what was on that notes, blah, 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 and telling her that if she needed to talk, they could talk. See what I mean? He makes himself sound like just this chill dude.
Yeah.
He had taken Remy out and to go to the potty, and thought that he saw a coyote. So he told her, you got the Taurus and I got the Glock, saying that she preferred the Taurus because it had a smaller grip. He said on the stand that he remembered carrying groceries up those condo stairs in the past and being confronted by a coyote. So he knew they were in the area.
So he knew his ex-wife lived there.
Right.
I mean, that wasn't a coincidence.
It wasn't a coincidence that they were at that condo.
No.
Right. And that's what I heard. You know what I mean? That he had lived there with her, obviously, if he was carrying groceries up those stairs. You know what I mean? He knew where they were going. He knew she was there. Anyways. But it's just a weird choice. He said he came in from taking Remy out again, and he put the Glock that already had the silencer on it from the last time he cleaned it in the sock bin at the base of the bed. He lit some candles and some incense. He had more drinks. He did aisle yoga, which is a mix between yoga and dancing that he did in the little aisle of the bus. His interpretive dance. Now, Emily was laying in bed, scrolling on her phone, laying on her side. And then she, out of nowhere, lashed out about those damn Yankee candles. Now, keep in mind that they're not plugged into electricity. So these are literally what they use for light. He had lit about 7 or 8 of them. And she told him to turn the fucking candles off.
Turn them off. Don't blow them out.
Turn them off. Flip that switch.
Yeah.
Now, he said it wasn't too bright and she could just roll over away from them if it was too much for her. She came up out of the bed, grabbed a lit candle, and luckily he had just enough time to put the lid on it before she hit him with it. What?
Okay.
Maybe he got ninja skills from all that aisle yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she hit him in multiple places of his body.
Is aisle yoga a thing? I mean,
well, he's doing it.
Is that like a legit yoga?
No, he does it on
yoga.
No,
I mean, or is it kind of like goat yoga?
No, he calls it aisle yoga because he only has that aisle to do it in the van, in the bus.
So it's yoga.
It wasn't even that. It was like yoga dancing.
But that's okay. So is there dance yoga?
That I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So viewers, is there dance yoga?
Because I'm pretty sure yoga is all about holding poses.
Please explain.
Isn't it not? You get into a pose and you hold that pose for a certain amount of time? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I said.
Like, I'm a maniac.
Exactly. That's why I said it was interpretive dance, because that's all it could be. That makes no sense. Anyway, so he gets the candle away from her finally, and he puts it on the counter, but she's still punching and kicking him. He said that she even kicked Remy. What? Not the dog.
Not the dog.
He pushed her back to the bed, telling her that they were not her punching bags. He means business.
Well, I get the feeling that, he was just doing a bunch of, stuff and to annoy her,
He was annoying the shit out of her, just like he annoys the shit out of me.
Dance yoga.
Yeah, he's drunk and he's high. He's playing music. He's lighting incense.
Right, so that's what it is. I mean, it's just like.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Explain.
And remember, he said he was only wearing his t-shirt and underwear because he doesn't wear pants.
If I was in the court, I would have been like, can you please demonstrate this dance yoga?
Yes. Yes.
For the jury.
I need to see it. I need to know.
Please.
I need to know. And it sounds almost like he's doing some, like the interpretive dance of love or something. He's lighting candles and incense and he's moving around. I don't know.
What? And then at the end, he goes straight to like Krav Maga and fucking jumps on her.
Well, I think she was like not feeling it. You know what I mean? She's like.
Well, no, she definitely wasn't feeling it by the time they got done.
Exact. Go shake your shit over there, bro. But he took Remy for another walk. And when he came back in, he made another drink. He smoked some more weed. And he asked her if she wanted to talk about that candle incident where she just beat the shit out of him with a Yankee candle.
Yeah.
He said she was mumbling, so he didn't hear what she said. So at some point, he just let it go, and at some point he decided he's going to get into bed. Now to do that, remember the bed is up higher. She is on this side, so he has to literally climb over her to get to his side of the bed. So he finished his drink. He grabbed that Glock, which he had put on the counter after he came in this time. And he tried to get into bed. Emily mutters, but then it turns into shouts. She yelled, "Fuck off," then elbowed him in the groin. He said, "No more hitting." Grabbed a throw pillow that they had along like the bed and the wall.
No.
Yes. He swatted her with it, is what he said. She said, "That's it. You're dead," and reached under her pillow.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a gun under there or what?
Yep. According to him, they slept with guns under their pillows, which is why he had his with the silencer still on it when he climbed into bed. He said, "No, no, 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 no." She started to get up, and so he shot twice.
With a pillow over her head.
That's how he said the pillow got there. He swatted her with it, but it stayed there, I guess.
As she was getting up.
Right.
So she got up holding it against her face?
I guess so. It never fell off.
Dude. Just.
Yeah. He then yelled at her, "Are you fucking kidding? And why the hell would you do that?"
Yeah. And he's claiming self-defense.
Yep. Self-defense.
Whatever. Fuck off.
He said he then sat with her and talked to her. He says this was sometime after 2 a.m., he believes. Yeah, this is after he shot her. He lifted her and saw all the blood, and that's when he got the plastic bag and put it under her head as a catchment. But he said
before that he shot her and then put the bags over her head. It wasn't it wasn't like a while later.
Yeah. Like, you mean because he now says he sat and talked to her for a while after she died? Yeah. Yeah. Either way, he says he put the bag under her head too. He's very adamant that he put it under her head. He never put it over her head. Yeah. Then he sat there for 10 to 15 minutes, and then he checked on Remy because Remy was in her cage pen area that they had for her. Made sure she was okay. And then he drank vodka while he and Remy mourned together. He says he remembers the sensation of her body dropping, him picking her up, and then her falling, and it was playing on a loop in his head. Now, he only has flashes of memories for the rest of the day. He does remember having to move Rosie to go to the Langs, so that's when he moved Emily's body to the shower floor so she wouldn't roll off the bed. He now has very selective memory of the rest of that weekend. He doesn't remember stabbing her. He has a memory of cutting into her leg with a knife and it making him vomit. He says he didn't sleep from the time they got up Friday morning until after he talked to the cops on Tuesday.
So he didn't sleep for 4 days?
That's what he says.
But yet he said he was sleeping on and off.
He slept in the woods.
Yeah.
He slept in the bus. Yeah.
Because he flipped the mattress.
Well, he's now blaming that sleep deprivation on why he gave that interview to the police.
Whatever.
Like, I was so sleep deprived. Now, he doesn't even remember talking to the cops at all. I don't even remember that. I talked to the cops? I don't remember that. So when the prosecutor is doing her cross on him, she asks him things like about things on the video. And they go in like this circle. And this is the part that pissed me off so bad. So I just took one little small because he does it with everything. So this is him and her going back and forth.
Yeah.
She said, "You got up from the couch? I wasn't on the couch. You told the police that you got up from the couch. I don't remember talking to the police. You heard yourself tell the police that you got up. I saw the video. Did you hear the video? That was on the video, yes. And you heard it. Yes. And you got your Glock. Are we talking about the video? We're talking about what happened." So that's them going back and forth. And he's like, "I remember seeing a video."
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll ask him a question. And he's like, "Is that from the video?" Like the entire
He's just playing
time.
dumb.
He was just gaslighting the shit out of her.
Yeah, he's playing dumb.
He was like, "Do you have proof of that?" Like every time she would ask for, "You did this or that. Do you have proof of that?"
Yeah.
It was just, I bet that jury was like, "This motherfucker." It damn sure did not do him any favors. I could tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got very old very quick. She brings up that Emily was not happy about staying where his ex-wife was as soon as they got there, and he denies that. No, we were arguing about the transmission smoking up the van. She's like, "Oh, okay. So what about this text that you sent your ex on that Sunday saying he wished he could have seen her while he was in Vermont? He says in the text, it was the first thing that came up, and I said I wouldn't. I want to take Bear for a walk with Remy. She only turns around to kick me to the curb. It's no big deal. I spent the day with my sister. It was awesome." So he literally texted his ex that him and Emily fought about her and him going to see her as soon as they got there.
Yeah.
But now he's like, "No, it was the transmission." He insists that he told Emily to turn her phone off, and she did, even though she was supposedly in bed scrolling on her phone when they were fighting. Prosecution says that he turned her phone off after he killed her. Now, the Celebrite presentation says that his phone turned off at 12:01. At 1 a.m., her phone connected to the cell network for the last time. At 1:35, he turned his phone back on and then back off at 2:10. He turned it back on at 3:39 and then it stayed on. So they tracked all of his movements by his cell phone data. And so her phone, after that 1 a.m. connection with the network, never connected again. So it had to be turned off, and he put it in that bag and he threw the shit in the trash. Anyways, they also see that he texted Emily's phone 16 times that weekend. And at first it was like, "What are you doing? Where are you, lovey? Good morning, bubby. I miss you." Like he would be randomly texting her when he was at the bonfire, when he was out to lunch or brunch or dinner. You know what I mean? Like he's randomly texting her like she's still there. And then he texted her. The last one was Monday at 10:25 a.m. saying, "You're an asshole," with a mad face emoji. "I don't deserve this shit."
That's rich.
Yeah, it's her fault. She's not texting him back. Not because she's in trash bags in the shower, you fucking tool. So he claimed self-defense. The state said he didn't start saying that until it came to trial. He's never said self-defense before. So this obviously is not the right story. It's just his way to try to get out of trouble. Either way, I'm sure you all have your own conclusions as to what happened. And the jury did too. They would find him guilty of first-degree murder. Now, I thought they would have a sentence by now, but they don't. So we're still waiting for that. And I didn't want to wait anymore to talk about this case because I've been waiting for this thing to go to sentencing. So we had a full, complete picture for you, and we don't. And there's a couple of things that have come to light since he did this. And it seems like his father was accused of running a massage parlor that was not a legit massage parlor, the kind. But he went to the grocery store back in 2009 and got home around midnight. So he's a late shopper. But he found his wife stabbed to death in the apartment. This would be Joseph's stepmother.
Oh, okay.
That case is still open. They have never found what happened to her. So, of course, they've taken a peek at Joeseph for that case.
They should.
Mm-hmm. And he had a woman from his past come forward saying that he drugged, sexually assaulted her, held her against her will, and even had her contact her family to tell them goodbye. Like, her story is sad because the prosecutors didn't prosecute, and they wouldn't even give her a permanent protective order against him. And then look what he turned around and did. Like, she's telling this guy is ridiculous. And her story has a lot of similarities to what happened the night Emily died. Her story involves his interpretive dance and shit like that. Him lighting incense and shit. Like, there's so many things that just kind of go hand in hand with what happened the night of Emily's death.
Yeah.
Now, we do know that he doesn't have a lot of assets or money stuck back somewhere, but the family did win a $1.5 million wrongful death suit against Joeseph back in 2023. And they know it's not about getting the money. They said they just really needed a judgment on the books to show that he was responsible for her death because he hadn't gone to trial yet.
I mean, that's a win.
That's a win. Yeah. So this will probably be one that we have to update on an update episode when they finally get around to sentencing him.
Yeah.
So where he's at, he's looking at 35 to life based on the law. So minimum is 35 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we'll see.
We've had a few subscribers tell us ask us to do some updates on some cases, and we're working on it. Yeah. We're just trying to get enough together, and maybe we'll do a live on it or something like that, So we're working on it. Just hang in there.
Stick with us, y'all.
Yeah, because a lot of these updates and everything, they're still
pending.
They're still pending, so we're trying to wait until stuff kind of, gets done.
Or you got like Karen Reed, who's in court every freaking day and hasn't even gone back on trial yet. So this is just like beginning stuff. And it's like, I don't know if y'all want to sit and listen to it. I'm just going to wait till she goes to trial. So she's going to hold off.
Yeah.
And if you were wondering, like me, Remy was safe at a friend's house and is now living with Emily's mom. So the pupper is all good.
Yeah.
I had to make sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, if you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when we upload a new episode, or go live on YouTube. Our Cash App is $MWTM pod, POD.
Yep. And we also have the Buy Me Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/MWTM. And, as always, don't forget to tell your friends, because, that right there, the subscribers are what makes us, move forward.
It's what gets our cases out there.
Yep.
For people to hear.
Yep. The views, the case, subscribers, the likes, follows, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tell your guys' friends.
Spread the word.
Yeah. If you like it, surely they will too.
Right?
So we'll catch you guys next time. This one right here ran a little over an hour. So
they're only getting one this week. So
yeah. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.